Hi, I'm Anisha L. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a story time of when my home was set on fire by some neighborhood children. So it was April 18th, 2016. So it was 4 years ago as of the 18th of this month. So I feel like it was it started out as any normal day, except for it was the last day for taxes to be turned in or postmarked by midnight. And of course, me always procrastinating, waiting to the last minute. I was one of those people, so I was cramming to get my taxes done, and I got that completed, and I left to have them mailed off. So my mother was home with my children and my niece, and it was approximately 9:30, and they had gone to bed. I get a phone call from my neighbor, and she was like, "Your house is on fire." And I pretty much panicked, like, oh my God. I kind of lost it, so I'm like flying back to the house to see what the heck was going on. Hoping it was a joke, but who would joke about something like that? So I reach home, and I couldn't get on my street because all the fire trucks were putting the fire out. So put the fire out, and they start asking questions and trying to figure out who did it, or who could it possibly be, and ruling us out as arsonists. Yeah. So I was also going through a divorce, so I'm pretty sure the now ex-husband probably was a suspect, but he wouldn't do nothing like that. So anyway, some passerby came and saw that the house was on fire from the back, and was ringing the doorbell and bamming on the door, to get someone's attention. And that's how my mom and the children got out the house. So the reason my mom wasn't aware that the house was on fire is because it started in the garage, and since it was contained to the garage, none of the smoke alarms went off. And once she opened the door to to see what the commotion was from the individual banging on the door, that's when it created a backdraft. So once she opened the door, then the alarm system started to go off to alarm her. So then they rushing upstairs to get the little ones out their beds. And the crazy thing is, it was wild. Like the fire, excuse me, the fire. The crib was on the wall, and the fire was like, excuse me, the fire was right there where my baby was sleeping. It was like right there. You could see the fire you could see the baseboards was burning. So just imagine that person not came to try and get somebody's attention. I would have lost everything that mattered to me in this world. All my children, my mother, and my niece would have been gone. And I really would have been in a cuckoo house. No cap. So just at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. Is that everybody got out alive. So I don't, from this experience, don't too much really set me off no more. I try not to trip on things because more than likely it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. So I just try not to trip on stuff that can be replaced, because lives are irreplaceable. I lost an older brother in a house fire when I was 3 and he was 4, and my sister was 1. So the fire department was able to retrieve me and my sister and my stepfather, because my mom was gone. So they was able to retrieve us, but they couldn't find my brother because he had hid under the bed. So I've had experiences with this before, but losing my brother was hurtful. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember being in the hospital before smoke inhalation and all that stuff. So I guess that's probably another story. Maybe that's a story for my mother to tell. So I'm just grateful that I didn't lose my mom and my children and my niece. Things can be replaced. And the children got out the house was because of that amazing Samaritan. So whomever they are, I am forever grateful for you. Yeah. Okay. So we walking, kind of, they put the fire out and got the fans and stuff going to get some of the smoke out and all of that stuff. So the fire started from the garage. I used to have the garbage cans, kind of linked up on the, got them set by the garage. And I guess the little deviant children just thought it was a good idea to set the garbage cans on fire. And I'm pretty sure they wasn't thinking that, I would imagine they wasn't thinking at all, but they probably wasn't thinking that what they did would have did all of what it did do. And the fire marshal was saying that over the past couple of nights, people's garbage cans was getting set on fire. So 9 times out of 10, those children was the ones who did that. Just nobody's property was set ablaze other than the garbage can. I think I could have dealt with that a lot better than having to deal with 75% of my home being a total loss. So we had a lot of court dates. Somehow someone was very vigilant and was able to identify the culprits, and going to court, hearing about the child, was a troubled child, and he had the mental capacity of a 11-year-old or somewhere in that. The one that they put all the blame on, he was a 16-year-old with the mindset of an 11-year-old, and the other children that he was with were like between 11 and 14. And for some bright reason, the court system decided to put all the blame on the child with the bad record. And I don't think that's fair. If you're gonna make one person accountable, you should make all of them accountable, because how are the ones that got off scot-free gonna learn a lesson if they're not made to? You couldn't possibly. Yeah, the area I live in is, predominantly people of color, and probably people, that don't have a lot. So for me, I found it very difficult to hold hatred, animosity, or anything along those lines for someone that's mentally not there. I can't be angry. I can't be angry with someone that don't know no better. So I just had to make peace with that. Chalk it up as a loss. I'm pretty sure the mom don't have nothing for real. And then again, that's the insurance company's fight anyway. I guess you could probably victims' rights or whatever, but it's I ain't had the energy for it. I just let it go from that aspect of it. Yeah. So if I would say anything that you could take away from my situation, or what information I would give you to better help you if, Lord forbid, you experience something like this, is to, if you are a homeowner, make sure you have homeowners insurance. Keep up on your homeowners insurance. And if you are a renter, make sure you have renters insurance, and keep up a record with pictures and stuff of things that you have, because if something was to happen to you, you're not going to be thinking about all the stuff that you won't be thinking about, the material aspect of what you lost. You would be more concerned about being grateful for the people that you didn't lose, or if you lost a loved one, that's where your mind gonna be at. I would say keep a detailed list of all your belongings, and have a list of reputable reputable contractors who can do renovation work on your home if you so ever need it. Because at that time I didn't know nobody that I could think of to do the work. You know, the insurance company come out. The insurance adjuster comes out to try and adjust the damages and see what they think your situation is worth. So all that stuff, I gotta laugh to keep from crying sometimes. All that stuff is a joke. But whatever. So to alleviate you having to figure out what all you lost, keep a list of stuff. When you get something new, write it down. It might seem stupid, redundant, repetitive, whatever words you can think of to talk yourself out of doing it. Take my word for it. Don't do it. Don't put it off. Have your list, because you're not gonna be thinking about none of this stuff. And that they give you like 2 to 3 years, or at least State Farm give you about 2 or 3 years to assess your losses. That's a stress in itself. So I ended up being out of my home for like 7 or 8 months. I spent like a month to a month and a half in a hotel, and then the other months we stayed at they found us a house, that a short-term rental property where we could reside until my home was complete. And all of that stuff was a headache. It was a headache and a hardship, because it was far from my children's school and from my job. So I spent a lot of time crying and praying and just trying to make sense of those things. Like, just wondering, like, why did it have to happen? You know, why? Just why? It was like they don't understand. Those children don't understand, and will never understand unless they go through something like this. They won't understand the hell and trauma that they caused me. And I'm back in my home, of course, but it ain't the same. They don't understand the hurt, the sleepless nights that they caused me. And then the contractor that I got, it's like people come out and they put their best foot forward, showing you pictures and giving you can't even freaking think right now. They show you pictures and they give you probably phone numbers to call people to get their opinion on how they were able to, kind of bring some sort of normalcy back to their situation, whether it had been a fire or water damage or whatever the case was. So this particular company, I'm not going to mention them, but I would never refer anybody like me to them, because they didn't have my best interests. And it's sad when stuff got to be about race, but that's the dynamic of everything. Everything, most things are about race. Race and tax bracket. I wholeheartedly feel like if I was a person of another color and financial background, things would have been totally different. That's just how I feel about the situation, and I stand on it with both feet, 10 toes down. I stand on it. If I had been someone else, my outcome would have been a lot better. And just like, I don't even know what, the rules and regulations are when people are, companies come out to do work on your home. Like, I don't know, like, if they supposed to have their own porta potties. I would prefer that they had their own porta potties, and, of course they rent big dumpsters and stuff. So they had a big dumpster, but they didn't have a porta potty. I would come into the house to see what all work was taking place, to see how things were coming along, and I would notice things that I despised, and I would bring it to the contractor's attention, and I guess he fake addressed it. But I would see cigarette butts on the subfloor. I would see, like, I seen paper towels in the toilet. So they were flushing paper towels and baby wipes down my toilet. So one of the toilets don't even work as it once did. Having a toilet issue. So I just think that had I been someone else of a different caliber and color, things would have been different. But I didn't have, you only got, when something like this happens, so you only got a certain amount of time to get the ball rolling. You gotta have your home boarded up until those things are taken care of. So being at so when you have a fire, when you're a homeowner, you still gotta do things as if you gotta move as if you still living in your home. So yeah, your insurance company is paying for you to stay, at another location. So they're paying for the rental property, but they're not paying the gas and electric and the water bill. So it's like you got to pay your gas and electric at the new place where you are, and you also got to pay your gas, electric, and water, as well as your mortgage, while you're away from your home. So can you just imagine? I just felt, I don't even think there's any words to really explain how I really felt, but that situation just took me out. So that's my story time. I appreciate you coming to my channel and watching my content. Like and subscribe.